Is that weird?
Okay. I think.
Let's see if it improves now.
Did you turn your sound off of Facebook? Turn your sound off Facebook completely.
Then can people hear me? Can you hear me on Facebook? If I turn it down?
Oh, maybe just your volume so you can't hear my voice on your Facebook. Hi, everybody on Instagram.
I don't know if I can do that because I'm on.
I think it's good now. It's good.
I'm on yards. Okay. Okay, great. Yay, welcome back.
So if you can't hear us on Facebook or on Instagram, put in the comments, please.
Shake, rattle, and roll. Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah. Okay, so we're here on our journey together. We are co-creating. Megan has been doing the 5-day Meridian Reset. Yay, using the LifeWave phototherapy patches in order to optimize her egg quality. And she has some questions today, so we're going to continue on our discussion.
All right. I am preparing the body is where I would say for doing IVF. I think I will probably wait another couple cycles before I do a retrieval. And so I've heard out there that you can change the quality of your eggs over 3 months. What is your take on this? Is that the timeline?
Right. So I love that question. It's a very open-ended question. I think we've heard everything from it's impossible to improve your egg quality to it's going to take at least a year to improve your egg quality. No, it actually takes 90 days. No, you can do it in 60 days. Well, maybe you could do it in 30. Well, what about the week before you're going to ovulate? So there's a lot that's changing in reproductive technology and fertility. It's kind of what makes it so interesting to be involved with this field because it has changed so much. I even read in Amy Raup's book, she actually suggested that we may not have a finite number of eggs when we're born. And I love that because it challenges everybody reads something. We all believe that it's true, right? You're born when you were conceived in utero, you already have the number of eggs that you will have in this lifetime. And so everybody nods their head and says, okay, wow, that's amazing fact, statement of fact. And then we accept it to be true, right? And so it wasn't until I read her book, thank you, Amy, another practitioner, wonderful acupuncturist who's done a lot in this world of egg quality and diet. I highly recommend her book. Where she said, maybe that isn't true. And so it was the first time I kind of challenged my own belief system on that. Like, why did I assume that that was true? Because whoever, anyways. So it's the $1 million question. Anybody that knows me knows that I am a huge supporter of the terrain theory belief, right? So everything depends on your current state of health, right? So things change more quickly if you have already eliminated the strep bacteria, Epstein-Barr, candida, heavy metals, other toxins. You've decreased your adrenaline dominance pattern. Your hormones are balanced. That's a big difference than somebody who is not. The scale is tipped. The terrain is already tipped.
Okay.
And so it will take longer, right? And also the psycho-emotional component. I think there's an overemphasis on the body. And we have to remember the body follows the mind. The body is more dense. The mind can pass through things quickly, and it takes a while for the body to catch up. So even though you may have done a lot of work on yourself, a lot of therapy, working on your emotional issues, the body's slower to catch up. So you have to give yourself that time. So I say to women, couples, let's do what we can with the amount of time that you have. We have to adapt to the situation that you're in. If you have a year, let's take a year. And will that definitely improve your outcomes versus somebody that says, I've got a month, this is my last ditch effort, and I'm going to do what I can within these 30 days? Who knows? I don't know.
So with this protocol, with this optimizing the egg quality protocol you've created, is that also an open-ended, like what do you see the ideal time of somebody being on this protocol? Is it just 1 month, 1 week, or is it still kind of that open-ended?
It's, it's just like everything else in the fertility world. Like, for example, your journey. You did the 5-day reset. You thought you would wait a month or take this time, take this month to prepare for a retrieval. And then in the middle of the month, you decide, you know what, I'm going to take a couple months.
Yeah.
Right. So things change as you change, as our energy shifts, as our symptoms change one way or the other. We decide, you know what, I want to take another month. Oh no, actually, I'm really ready.
Yeah.
So it just depends. We adapt all the time, and I get a lot of feedback. Hey, I did this for 2 months. I did a retrieval. I had a very good outcome, the best retrieval ever. And I think I'm going to do another retrieval. So I'm going to keep going for another month. Great. Wonderful. So it just depends. What I really like is starting off with the 5-day reset. It's easy to do. It's affordable. It brings you through the whole 5 elements of Chinese medicine, beginning with the wood element, which is the liver gallbladder, which is part of the purification practice. And then we go through fire, earth, metal, water in just 5 days. And most people can focus on self-care for 5 days.
Yeah.
What's daunting is 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, these complicated diets for long periods of time. I think it's overwhelming. And what I don't want is for you to set yourself up for failure. I want you to set yourself up for success. And so I like the 5-day reset starting there. And then I get this question a lot. Well, I did the 5-day reset and now I want to choose one patch because that's in my budget. What's the one patch that I can do that's going to support myself going forward?
What do you say to that? What do you say?
I say the stem cell patch. If you do the 5-day reset, we're
And
choosing.
is the stem cell patch X39? And for anybody who just joined, we are talking about LifeWave patches, and you can access all this information on Jennifer Waters' Instagram or her Facebook page and get yourself a free sample. Is it 4 days?
Yes, I do have a 4-day patch trial. If you want to try the patches for 4 days, I will send you a link to a questionnaire. You have to fill that out. So I choose which patch is best for you. You have to commit to a follow-up phone call, though. Just 10 minutes of your time. It doesn't hear very well. I'd like to try. Good.
Okay.
Sorry, this may not be working. Thank you, Evelyn, for telling me that.
Yeah. And where I am, I'm Megan Thomas. So even though I'm under Jennifer's name, I did a transfer in November, and it was a frozen embryo transfer, and I did 2 embryos, and it did not work. And so I've been experiencing a lot of grief than previously. Than I have had failed transfers in the past, and this one just.
Hold on 1 second, Megan. I'm really sorry. I think we need to end Instagram because of this echoing.
Okay.
That's okay. We're sorry. We will come back.
Okay. We'll come back to Instagram. You can find us on Facebook.
Yes. Okay. Woo! All right. Okay, here we are. No more echo.
Here we are,
okay.
Facebook.
All right. Yes, I'm sorry for interrupting.
All right. Let us know if you can hear us without an echo. We got rid of Instagram. We're just putting our energy here.
Yeah.
Okay, way better. Okay, thank you, Mandy. Yeah, so I had a failed transfer round in November, And I don't know. I don't know about all of you who've been down this path before, but this one just hit me so much harder. And I still don't even understand why in so many ways, right? But I think you do this a couple times and you start to have more information that it will not work, right? Versus like in the beginning when it's like, oh, you have all of the hope, right? All the hope, the flame. And when you've had it not work a couple times, then you have to overcome that, right? Like you have to overcome what the mind is saying when you go into it, like, okay, this may not work, this may not work. And so I've just really been in this period since November of letting my heart heal, right? Going through the grief, going through the experience versus I know that I am not ready to just jump back in based on like my mental state where I'm at. And so I've connected with Jennifer and she was like, okay, like if you're going to do this again, if you're going to do a retrieval again, here's something you can do that these patches that for me, I'm 2 weeks into doing the patches now, and, like, so many things that we do on this journey are about, like, remove all the things you love, like, remove gluten, remove dairy, like, change your diet, right? Everything feels kind of like a punishment, right? In order to get where we want. This is the first thing that I've done that I'm like, "Oh, this feels like self-care," right?
Yeah.
Like, this feels, like, gentle and loving, and I have patches on my belly right now, so, I have, 5 patches on. The energy enhancer patch, comes in 2, so you put 1, on either side, and Jennifer, if you wanna talk about that. So now I'm in the Jennifer's protocol for optimizing egg quality. So these patches I'm actually putting on the ovaries, right? And how important is it that I get it in the exact right spot?
Close enough is good enough. We're using light. This is photobiomodulation. This is light stimulating your biology to do what it was designed to do, which is heal and repair itself. So don't when I send you I've been emailing with folks here or messaging. It looks like my website is under construction. Boy, it has been one of those weeks.
Mercury is in retrograde.
Okay, thank you. I just always feel like it is every day, no matter what. So my website, I guess, is down, but my email is working. So you can email me and I'll send you the guide that I created. Thank you.
Yeah,
Optimizing
Evelyn.
egg
I've
quality.
Evelyn, I've never had acupuncture until Jennifer, and it's like
Oh, thank you. Thank
I
you.
never had acupuncture until fertility. So I would say this fertility journey, if it's given me a few things, acupuncture was one of them.
Listen,
Mhm.
I appreciate it. It's an honor to
Mhm.
serve. I'm here for you all. I can't imagine not having this career. It's really is a pleasure. And I love research. I love figuring out what really can work, what helps, how do we make changes in a short amount of time, that's things that are easy to do. And this is why I love this wearable technology, because I always say this, most folks are tired of taking more pills. They're doing the best they can with their diet. You can only do so much acupuncture, Reiki, massage. So, what can you do every day that's going to improve your health on a cellular level? Because when it comes to egg quality, we want to improve the damaged cells. What are cells damaged from? Free radicals, toxins, right? Chemical toxins, endogenous hormones, excess adrenaline, estrogen. So
Mhm.
this is part of cleaning up the terrain. And that's why nutrition is really important because it's doing all that, taking down inflammation. What does inflammation do? It damages cells. So when we're working with the phototherapy patches, we're going directly in on a cellular level. That's why I love it. We're bypassing the gut. The gut is full of dysbiosis with candida, with leaky gut, with all this stuff. And so if we can bypass the gut, go directly onto a cellular level, now you're really talking. So it is a perfect addition to what you're already doing. and it can be a standalone thing, although everybody's doing something.
Yep.
So your question, close enough is good enough. When I email you the guide, it comes with the point locations. I think that I can turn that into a bit of a 5-day Meridian Reset. So folks that want to just try this out for 5 days rather than doing the whole month, it's a good way to start. And the reason that I have you fill out that questionnaire is so that we can figure out, really, it's about the ovaries. If you have PCOS, we want to use the ice wave patches that are more sedating, they're more reducing, because PCOS is generally what we would call an excess condition, right? There's too much energy there. So we want to bring it down, as opposed to low ovarian reserve or premature ovarian failure or almost anything else related to the ovaries. We want to donate energy there, especially to the mitochondria. And this is the really fascinating thing about light, is that we are able to affect the cells, the mitochondria, which is where the energy is produced in the cell. The ATP comes out of the mitochondria, and that's the powerhouse of the cell. So we can literally energize your cells more, and that is what the energy enhancers do really well.
And Shelby just asked about PCOS. So that's what she was differentiating. So I do not have PCOS. I have endometriosis. And so the difference is, which patch do I get? So if you have PCOS, she'll give you the ice wave patches. And if you have anything else, then you get X39.
No, you get the energy enhancers.
Oh, the energy enhancers. Okay, this one.
So yep, both of those patches come with two, a tan and a white. So you put one on each side over your ovaries.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
That's
And if you do the 5-day energy reset, I did find that I did have one spot on my body that was a little bit sensitive, and Jennifer shared last week. For me, the sensitive spot was right in between the breasts, like I think bras and just all that, made that.
More sensitive skin, yeah.
So you can put it other places, or you can even put it on your bra. Like this, that's what's so amazing to me of this technology, right? That even if it's not physically on your skin, right?
Oh, definitely. Like, one of the main points for preventing miscarriage, a lot of women have recurring pregnancy loss. We have this point on the top of the head, very powerful point, do 20, Backway, the 100 meeting point. And you can tap on this point. We needle it a lot. It's part of the post acupuncture transfer treatment. This is one of the main points that we do to lift the energy up. The cool thing about the patches in the winter in particular, if you take a patch and you put it on your hat, on the inside of your hat, stick it to the hat and then put your hat on,
Yeah.
you're stimulating that point. So both sides of the patches are going to activate your chemistry. So just sort of keep track in your mind, though, because the patches are not as active after about 12 hours, which is why we put them on in the morning and take them off at night. Yeah. And
Jennifer's got one on her wrist right now.
I do. I have Nirvana on today. It did help me a little bit. Thank gosh. Yeah.
Nancy asked about adenomyosis. Same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a more extreme form of endometriosis. It's a little more challenging. Here's the thing, we don't treat anything with light. Light brings your body back to balance. So I can't really say, oh, we're going to use glutathione to treat anything.
Yep.
But we know what is happening biochemically in the body and how it will support you. So this is really all about bringing yourself back to balance, decreasing inflammation, increasing the amount of energy that you have in your cells, and getting the body to produce it on its own, which is a huge advantage versus taking it orally.
Okay. Yeah. I love that we're actually telling our body to do these things, right? Versus then taking a supplement. right? In that way. Mm.
Yes. Chanel, people using egg donor. Oh, definitely. Yes, because you're still doing a transfer. You still want to have a successful transfer, successful pregnancy, and you still want your ovaries to be producing progesterone, right? So it's not just about preparing for a retrieval or about improving your egg quality. I highly recommend, after, if, like I said before, using the X39, the stem cell patch can be used throughout your whole pregnancy and after. It's extremely beneficial on all levels. So it does not matter where you're at, whether you're a gestational carrier or you're an egg donor or you're using an egg donor or you're the partner of somebody going through it,
Yeah.
you can benefit from this. Yeah.
I love that. And Shelby, congratulations on your retrieval today. And yeah, I agree that this can be used at any stage is what Jennifer's saying and is what also I believe, right? You can do it before a retrieval, you can do it in preparation of months before a retrieval. You can do it after you had a retrieval, right? So like what we're experiencing after the retrieval is being flooded with so many hormones. So the more we can do to help our own body come back to balance, the better, right? So depending on Shelby, like if you're going to do a transfer right away, or if you're going to do a transfer 2 years from now, right? You want to bring your body back to
So
balance.
let me ask you a question since I've never had an egg retrieval. How long after your retrieval did you feel it took before you got back to feeling normal or yourself again?
Okay. So I think everyone's going to answer this question differently, right? Everyone's body. I just listened to a podcast today of a woman who said that like she felt better than ever when she did a round of IVF and like didn't have any of the hormonal responses, right? For me, what seems to be happening for me is my endometriosis flares up after I have done a retrieval or I've done a transfer, and all I can come up with, I haven't talked to Dr. K about this yet, but I think it's because the increase in estrogen. So, like, when we're doing a transfer, we're putting more estrogen in the body, and I think that is what is causing these flare-ups of endometriosis for me. So right now, I'm 2 months out from doing a transfer, and I just had my period this past weekend, and it was worse than it has been in years, right? And so I think for me, I want to say it usually takes like 3 months for my body to come back to balance, but I don't think that's the case with everyone. I think it's really like recognizing what a normal menstrual cycle is for you, and then recognizing what that looks like. I have endometriosis on my lungs, so that's what seems to flare up the most for me. So yeah, once again, I feel like we're just giving answers that are like not this is the world of fertility, right? Is like we can't say
I know.
exactly, right? Because if we knew the exact recipe, none
Yes.
of us would be here, right? None of us would
Right.
be
Exactly.
in this.
Well, I can
Um,
tell you, Megan, by looking at you, you look extremely healthy. We would have no idea knowing that you've had
right.
all of these challenges. And
Mhm.
so,
Yeah.
congratulations. Everything that you're doing is working. And I'm very happy you're continuing on staying the course.
And I take a really long time, and that's okay. Like, I take chunks of time in between transfers. I take chunks of time in between doing a retrieval and doing a transfer, right? So
Mhm.
I am really, I'm 38, almost 39, and I'm just going at this at my own pace, even though, the rest of the world's like, hurry up, we need to do this faster because you're getting older, right? But for me, it's like I have to listen to the sensitivity of my body and what really is best for me,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Okay, so maybe we could just talk really quickly. about two of the patches that are included in the optimized egg quality with phototherapy.
Okay, which ones we
I
talking about?
know you had some questions about that.
Well,
One,
there's 4 patches total in
right,
optimizing egg quality, a little bit different for people with PCOS versus endometriosis. We're just talking 1 patch difference. So let's which
talk
X39?
about no, let's talk about glutathione
Okay.
and then the Eon patch.
Okay. So
So
glutathione and the Eon patch.
there are 3 patches that are part of the Y Age series, which I like that it, as opposed to anti-aging, which is a bit of a trigger for me because let's face it, we're all aging. I don't know that we can extend our life, but I am sure that we can improve the quality of our life and our experience here. So the first of the YH patch is glutathione. I call it the queen of
Mm.
antioxidants. And I love
Can
this one.
somebody let us know if we're still frozen? But here's the glutathione patch.
Frozen.
Okay. I
Unfrozen.
think we're okay now. Okay, we're good. Thank you, Shelby.
Thank you, Shelby. I know.
Hmm.
Oh, it's part of this Mercury experience. Oh, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. So, anyways,
Glutathione, the queen.
yes, it's found in every cell in the human body. It's made up of 3 amino acids, right? So cysteine, glycine, and glutamic acid. It's the thing that's cool about glutathione is that it actually protects your cells. And it's part of phase 2 liver detox. You have to get it either through an IV or take it lipospherically. It's the only way that you can, take it in. You can't take pills of it or anything like that. So the cool thing about the patches is that it's getting your body to create it on its own, and there's a huge benefit of that. They say that it's good for lowered immunity, that it's good for lungs and respiration. It helps with allergies. It's detoxifying, as we said. It reduces oxidative stress, but it also protects against telomere erosions, which is that little part of the DNA, that little tail at the end that as we age shrinks. And so it is the true anti-aging. If you can extend that, then you really are increasing the quality of your life. In particular, it has a role in reproductive health. And I believe that the placenta actually creates glutathione on its own. So it's completely safe to use during your whole pregnancy.
Somebody asked if it will give you more energy, and Gladys, we just welcome. We're talking about LifeWave patches, so using these to optimize egg quality.
Yes.
So any relation with glutathione and energy?
Oh, definitely. Yes. Anytime you decrease the toxic load in the body, you're going to have more energy, right? So, from a Chinese medicine point of view, glutathione actually supports what's called your Wei Qi, which is your defensive qi in terms of your immune system. And it is ruled by the lungs. When your Wei Qi is strong, you don't get sick. You don't sweat easily. Things don't come into you easily. That's that external layer. So glutathione is an important antioxidant in keeping that strong. And I really think it's because of its connection to the lungs in particular. It also clears heat and toxins. So if you have a fever, night sweats, hot flashes, anything like that, it's going to help. It's a perfect balance or offset to the medication that you're taking on your fertility journey. It helps to balance that out. They say that it tonifies chi, it gets your energy stronger through, again, back to the lungs and also the kidneys. It helps to support the kidneys and the kidney function.
So I don't know about any of you, but I get lost when we start talking about the sciencey parts of things, right? But what I'm hearing, and if I'm understanding it correctly, is glutathione already exists in our body, and these patches are helping us to create more, right? To optimize, like to get those going. Is that right? Like, is that a right way of looking at it?
Yes, absolutely. It's a jump start. Yeah, for sure.
Mm,
For sure.
mm.
For sure. Okay, so hi Ronia. Yes, more energy. Glutathione's perfect for you.
And what would you say about the energy enhancer?
Yes, yes,
If
definitely.
you're looking for more energy, right?
Yes, yeah, that's definitely good. Absolutely. It helps a lot, which is why we put that directly over the ovaries when we're trying to support our ovaries to function better.
And
Um,
if you are just hopping on now, um, drop if you wanna drop your email or send a message to Jennifer Waters. She has the most beautiful presentation of optimizing egg quality, right? Of how you can use these patches, why which patches are chosen, where to put them, what it has to do with Chinese medicine, like the meridian points, all of that. Like it's a beautiful way of looking at it. And for me, somebody who, I've been on this journey almost 5 years now, right around 5 years, and um, you feel like you've tried everything, right? Like you feel like, okay, I've done all the things. And I think this is why this last round for me definitely hit me in a way that previous rounds haven't, right? Because I was like, I've done everything. I had been gluten free and dairy free for a whole year and
you've
all
been
these
freed.
things,
You've been
right?
freed. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And so this this allows us to just do something that feels like just so loving that we are actually doing this for our body, right? I'm wearing patches. That's all I'm doing, right? In my head, like from the way I look at it, right? Like I'm just putting patches on my body in the morning. And it's allowing us to also tune in when you're not right in a cycle. So if you do decide to do this, a little bit before a cycle, every single morning it's forcing me to connect with my body and to connect back to that intention, right? Which is like, okay, today I'm going to make the best choices I can to help continue on this journey, right? To help continue optimizing the egg quality, right?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you all for putting your emails in there. So,
Thing, if you
mhm.
don't mind, Sophia, Mandy, Gladys, email me directly and then I'll send you the guide. Okay. And then the link for the questionnaire is in there. Okay, so the other patch, because I know we have to go, we just have a couple minutes here that I want to talk about is called the Eon patch, AEON, and it's the part of the Y age series. So they call this their broad spectrum anti-inflammatory. So it reduces inflammation. How does it do that? Through supporting the liver. So again, clears heat, helps support the heart, and by supporting the liver, it gets the blood to move better. So what we say in Chinese medicine is liver qi stagnation, liver blood stasis, liver qi stasis. So this is really, really important because from a Chinese medicine point of view, recurring pregnancy loss happens from three patterns, and one of those patterns is liver blood stasis. So if you feel irritable, you have acne, hot flashes, night sweats, all of that stuff connected to the liver, moodiness up and down. You wake up in the morning agitated, that we need to support your liver. So this patch is really good for that. They call it the happy patch because of that. It helps reduce stress. It helps balance the nervous system, reducing cortisol. But the other thing that they said about it is that it increases DHEA, which
Mm.
I don't know that there's been a clinical trial on that. There are patents on all of these patches, and the studies you can find on the website, which I will send you the link. It's really interesting to read the studies that they did in order to receive the patent. But anytime we can increase something like DHEA on its own is again a huge advantage because you don't necessarily want to supplement with that unless your blood work indicates it, because it is hormone replacement therapy, right? And so you don't want to necessarily be taking it unless you're sure you need it. But when you use the patch, your body's going to create it if you do need it. And if you don't, it won't. So that's the beauty, the magic of working with light.
I see we have Jennifer, Lori, welcome. They just hopped on, want to know what we're talking about. We're talking about LifeWave patches. And Jennifer has a optimizing egg quality protocol, and you just have to email her. I can't access the chat to write it in there, but just email yourlight10@gmail.com and she'll send over information on these. No, you don't need a prescription at all. This is just something, another thing we can do on our journey, right? To really connect back to our bodies and just take care of our bodies in a way. Because I mean, sometimes taking so many supplements right now, I'm taking a break from like taking a million supplements because it's even taking too many supplements can feel really overwhelming to the body, right? Like that we all, it's like, okay, we have to take the CoQ10 and vitamin D and do vitamin E and do all of these. Sometimes it can feel like too much. So right now I'm taking a break from a lot of the supplements and I'm just doing this. Like, this is how I'm taking care of my body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No more than 5 is my general rule.
Oh, good. Good. I haven't heard that before. Yeah. But and these pills just keep getting bigger and bigger. Like, you can swallow these pills.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you so much, Megan, for your time. I appreciate it. We're going to continue on in our discussion next Friday around this time. And email me. I'll send you the guide. And we'll have lots more information for you.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.